Greetings, people. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. I know most of you are curious to know what was the outcome of the previous court case between Ruth Mathew and the Commissioner of Police and Jeremiah Omoto for Fame. Remember, 3 witnesses were supposed to appear, and 3 witnesses, based on the information that I have, they did appear. And what I'm telling you here is not coming from the lawyer. It's coming from some of the people that feel the need to give me information about what is happening. And what is stressing Jeremiah Omoto's team today and right now is, how am I getting this accurate information? How am I able to connect all these dots? Yet I'm right here in South Africa, and all this is happening in Nigeria, in Delta State. As you all know, we had 3 witnesses that are left. In fact, 4 of them, including Jeremiah Omoto for Fame. We have 3 witnesses, which means 3 counts. Double those counts makes them 6 charges on Sister Ruth Mathew. Emmanuel Marcus's one was dismissed. Juliet Mathew one was dismissed. And we were left with Joy Idole, the one who owns the hotel in which Ruth Mathew was renting during the time when baby Testimony was abducted. And we have these 2 other pastors from Jeremiah Omoto for Fame who also came to lay charges against Sister Ruth Mathew, who also came as complainants and who are also constituting the evidence and proof of evidence that the commissioner has against Sister Ruth Mathew. So on the court papers concerning this case of defamation against Jeremiah Omoto for Fame in Mercy City, these were the last 3 witnesses that were supposed to show up in court and give their testimonies or bring out their evidence, as they claim to be having evidence against Ruth Mathew, which proves that Jeremiah Omoto is innocent and Ruth Mathew is falsely accusing Omoto for Fame, which proves that Ruth Mathew is indeed guilty of the defamation charges that were laid unto her. So this has not yet been confirmed. Remember, the day before the court appearance, I did a video and I told you that there is a conspiracy. Something is going on in the courthouse because the Commissioner of Police and everyone that is connected to this case, they have realized that where this case is now, it's hot. And it's now practically impossible to cover up their tracks of how they manipulated and how they did not do an investigation concerning this case, which they took it upon themselves to represent Jeremiah Omoto for Fame. They are panicking as we speak right now, which also make me question where the judge fits in. Is the judge with the Omotos, or the judge is neutral? Or everyone at the court, are they neutral as well? Or they're also leaning on Jeremiah Omoto's side? The reason why I'm alleging this is because of what I'm about to tell you. Based on the information that I had, and I think I gave you a heads up. I did give you a heads up before this happened, what I'm about to tell you. I told you that there's a conspiracy of Jeremiah Omoto's people planning to go and disrupt or to go and ban court papers and court documents. If you check my video that I did the day before the court, there's a part when I elaborated that something was going to happen on the court day. And all this was planned by Ebega, this Ebega campaigning governor for, is it APC? And according to the information that I had, he was collaborating with Doris Ogala. Because these 2, they still have a point to prove to Jeremiah Omoto for Fame. These 2 were paid already. So they are not just going to chow Omoto's money and not bring results. It's Ebega and Doris who have been, and Chidi, who have been claiming to be doing an investigation, who have been claiming to find loopholes on the case of baby Testimony, loopholes that will implicate Ruth Mathew. Several times, if you have noticed, when Chidi and Ogala are doing their broadcast, they are forever saying people did not investigate. People will be shocked when they hear the truth. And whenever they say people, you will hear the truth, they are just trying to say Doris is doing an investigation in collaboration with Ebega and other Mercy City people. And this investigation is centered around how can we find something that can make Ruth Mathew look like she's lying. They have been doing investigations in Igara, conducting people in Igara, asking people in Igara questions about Ruth Mathew. My question is, what information do the people of Igara have concerning the case of Baby Testimony and how Baby Testimony was abducted? Were the people of Igara there present in Mercy City when Ruth Mathew lost her child? The answer is they do not know nothing. They only have their own experience with Ruth Mathew, but they have absolutely no clue as to what happened at Mercy City on the 15th of April 2019. So all the time, your YouTube doctor, the Chidi, that useless blogger, that useless blogger from Canada, when he comes with this ashao called Doris Ogala to come and say, we are doing an investigation, believe you me, that entire investigation is centered around finding fault on Ruth Mathew. It has nothing to do with finding justice or Baby Testimony. It has nothing to do with questioning Jeremiah Omoto where the CCTV footage is. So in the recent court appearance, after the court, I hear that the courthouse was set ablaze and some court documents were burnt and some court papers were burnt. Is this a conspiracy? Was this staged? I'm just asking questions. Was it a coincidence that the court papers were burned? And the other question that we should be asking is, the court papers that were burned, do we have as part of those papers the cross-examination of these witnesses that were present on this particular day? There's only one reason why these court papers could be burned. It's either the witnesses said something that was implicating Jeremiah Omoto. That is if these papers are part of the papers that were burned. And be that as it may, I am of the belief, even though I have not yet reached to the lawyer of Ruth Mathew, I am of the belief that Ruth Mathew's lawyer also have their own copy of those papers. And Jeremiah Omoto's lawyers, they also have their own copies of those papers. And the court has their own copies of the court papers. If it happens that none of these three parties have these copies, then serious questions will now need to be asked as to what's happening and what's going on. How did the court catch fire? Okay, fires are inevitable. They can happen anytime. They can be a faulty anyway that can cause fire. But how did that happen? And I did not get this information from Ruth Mathew's lawyer. We are still yet to do a briefing because he's a busy guy. We are still yet to do a briefing and find out what transpired in the court session. And I think we were scheduled for a conference call, but I got a little bit tied up. But as soon as I get the full gist and the full information as to what transpired, I'll bring it up to you people so that you can also be aware of what's happening and what's going on. And whenever I tell people that this case is not a child's play, they think I'm playing, they think I'm joking. There are a lot of lives at stake right now. And they know it. Jeremiah Omoto knows it. The Ogalas, they know it. And a day is coming, a day is approaching. They will all dance to the music. The God who's in heaven, who's forever watching over the righteous, will do his magic. Omoto for Fame will not get out of this. Everyone, from those Ashaos, disgrace, those useless young prophets who call them the Dawn, that Emeka, useless boy, all of these useless people that have been doing damage control for Jeremiah Omoto for Fame, All the precious lungus who have been coming out to say you are falsely accusing Jeremiah Omoto, as if they know the actual truth, they'll all be brought in to give us a testimony as to why do they say we are lying. Yet this happened at Jeremiah Omoto's premises. What proof do they have to quantify their defense? For someone to come to the public and say Jeremiah Omoto is innocent, they surely should have something solid and something tangible that proves that indeed Omoto Fofane is innocent. But in this case, the only thing that can exonerate Omoto Fofane, as we have spoken and we have been speaking for so many times now, is a CCTV footage. And that CCTV footage will not come out for one or two reasons. Because it will expose Precious Lungu and it will expose Jeremiah Omoto's people carrying out this operation of taking baby testimony, of taking Ruth Mathew's baby. I know Jeremiah Omoto's followers will still be acting out of ignorance and still thinking that our papa is untouchable. No one can touch our papa. It's impossible. And Omoto has surrounded himself with so many of these political, influential people, and some of them who come to lie to him just so that they can extort money from him in the name of helping him. That's what makes him feel powerful and strong at the moment. Not knowing that no matter how strong you are, no matter how much money you have, on this case of baby testimony, all that will not add up, all that will not get you out of it, all that will not rescue you, all that will not save you. The only thing that can save Mercy City, the only thing that can save Jeremiah Omoto's shrine and Omoto himself is a CCTV footage. A CCTV footage which shows what happened on the 15th of April 2019. Only a CCTV footage will set Omoto free and will set Mercy City members free. Apart from that, they are guilty as charged. There is no character that is being defamed or a character that is being assassinated. If they claim these allegations are false, then they have to prove it that they are false. And the only one thing that can prove that these allegations are false is the CCTV footage, which they are reluctant to provide or to produce. We are getting there. And we are going to assume victory on this case of baby testimony. Not just victory in court, but the ultimate victory is having baby testimony reunited with the mother. And that's one thing that we are not going to give up on. They can harass Ruth Mathew in court left, right, and center, but at the end of the day, we want baby testimony reunited with the mother. And there is absolutely nothing they can do or any tool that they can use to prevent this forthcoming justice for baby testimony. We warned Omoto several times. We warned Mercy City several times that you people just do the right thing. Just do the needful. Just facilitate for the release for baby testimony's freedom. And you people will walk away free. But the more they delay, the more their ship is sinking. We are getting to a point whereby it's going to be impossible to salvage whatever that will be left of Mercy City. Because where we are getting to be a point of no return. There will be no turning back. Like there is really no turning back right now. And Omoto will blame all those that have been influencing him and telling him, whispering in his ears, that Papa, don't worry, you are stronger than this. Papa, we can do this. Papa, we have your back. Papa will support you. Papa, don't entertain this. This case will die a natural death. This case will vanish into thin air. They lied to you, Mr. Fufeini. They lied to you. The only time this case will go away, the only time this case will die is if baby testimony is released and if baby testimony is reunited with the mother and the family. Without that, you no go rest. You no go have peace in your life. You no go enjoy your fame or your billions. Never. If you happen to pass away before baby testimony is released, this will carry over to your children. We will hold them accountable and they will have to answer to the sins of their father. So it's never too late. And the sooner the better. You do the right thing. We've been pleading with you to do the right thing. But you have seemed to be taking your time, hoping that a day will come where this will just be dissolved. Not when I'm still alive. It's not going to dissolve. So, that is the current information at hand concerning the recent court appearance, concerning the recent court case between the Commissioner of Police and Ruth Mathew. And like I said, I'll give you the confidence of what I've just told you after I get the primary information from primary sources of what transpired. But based on what I heard, the courthouse was set ablaze and some court documents were burnt. This is like a movie. This is like a movie. Because one thing you must understand is the Commissioner of Police has no case against Ruth Mathew. They have absolutely no case. And they don't know how to cover it up. And these things normally happen in political crises, when there are politicians involved, where you hear that court papers were destroyed, they were burnt and stuff like that. If they were burnt, we'll see. We'll see. They will revive them. And so the court date was rescheduled, I think, to the 25th of October. But I'll give you a detailed update of what transpired and which papers were banned. And we'll see the way forward. And as for now, let me check you out on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.